In this video, you'll discover how to unlock female attraction by learning a set of subtle, scientific, and psychologically proven micro-triggers. These aren't sweeping pick-up lines or generic advice. Instead, you'll learn tiny adjustments in body language, tone of voice, posture, and conversational flow that make women feel understood, respected, and drawn to you. By integrating these micro triggers effectively, you'll naturally enhance your presence without ever seeming manipulative or disingenuous. Whether you're single, dating, or simply want to improve your social confidence, understanding these nuance cues will give you powerful tools to connect more genuinely and deeply. Micro triggers are the small, often overlooked signals that communicate interest, confidence, value, and empathy, all in split seconds. When used correctly, these signals can shift the entire dynamic of an interaction, creating comfort, emotional resonance, and attraction. In this in-depth guide, you'll get concrete examples of verbal micro-triggers like mirroring, phrasing, asking open-ended questions, using emotional words and nonverbal cues, a warm smile, a steady eye contact, calibrated touch, or proximity. Learning how to deploy them with authenticity and knowing when they're appropriate is the core focus of this video. One of the most powerful micro triggers is active listening, the kind where you paraphrase, reflect, and validate what the other person says. Active listening instantly signals respect, emotional safety, and interest. In practice, this might look like, "So what I'm hearing is," or "that must have felt," rather than trying to one-up or redirect the conversation. Will show you specific phrases, timing, and a tone-up. Ensure your active listening doesn't come across as insincere or rehearsed. Another key trigger is body language calibration. How you stand, sit, move your hands, shift your feet, lean in or back, and how you open or close your stance. Small adjustments like uncrossing arms, facing the person fully, and curling shoulders can make you more approachable. We'll break down what psychology and social dynamics research suggests about open posture, powerful poses, micro expressions, and how these nonverbal cues influence attraction without you needing to speak a word. If you've ever felt like attraction is a mystery you can't crack, this video is about to change that. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're serious about leveling up your connection with women and still lock in. Because today I'm revealing the subtle psychological micro triggers that women instantly respond to. Tone of voice and vocal modulation are critical yet underused micro triggers. How you say something often matters more than what you say. Lower pitch, moderate pace, warm intonation, a slight variation, these small shifts can carry confidence, sincerity, and engagement. In this video, I'll teach you how to practice and adapt your tone depending on context, how to avoid common pitfalls, monotone to harsh to loud, and how to sync your tone with your emotional state for authenticity. Word choice and conversational framing are also micro triggers that work behind the scenes. Using sensory words, metaphors, emotionally rich adjectives, or positive framing can make your speech more vivid, relatable, and interactive. For example, swapping a nice for thoughtful, exciting, invigorating can shape perception dramatically. We'll explore how to weave and these words subtly avoid cliches and keep your language aligned with your personality so it never feels forced. Eye contact is a classic trigger, but it's not just about looking, it's about how you look. The timing, duration, blinking, gaze shifts all matter. Holding someone's gaze produces the right moment of time, allowing occasional breaks, looking away, then returning with words. These micro moments build intimacy and tension. We walk you through specific percentages of gaze time and how to practice these micro movements in everyday interactions. The micro trigger of calibrated vulnerability, letting your guard down just enough to be human, sharing small struggles, hopes, or dreams, but not oversharing or drama. Vulnerability signals authenticity and trustworthiness. In this video, you'll see how to calibrate self-disclosure, when to share a story that reveals something personal, how to manage pacing, and how to balance vulnerability with positivity and forward momentum in conversation. Humor is another subtle lever, especially when used as a shared experience rather than a forced punchline, like teasing, playful observations, general irony, self-deprecating humor. All of these can create emotional bonding and ease tension when used right. We'll examine how timing, context, mutual comfort, and emotional intelligence matter in making humor a micro trigger rather than a misfire. Mirroring and matching behavior is a powerful micro trigger, whether it's a subtle mimicry of posture, a speech rate, breathing, or emotional tone. When done naturally, mirroring builds a rapport builds comfort, comfort builds attraction. Overdoing it or copying obviously can backfire, so we'll cover how to mirror in a way that feels organic, keeps you grounded, and maintains your own identity while enhancing connection. Micro triggers of mystery and storytelling, sharing just enough to intrigue, sprinkling in details that provoke curiosity. Using pauses, leaving space for questions. Mystery stimulates interest. People naturally want to know more. We'll guide you through how to craft stories with hopes, how to stop just before the reveal in some cases, and how to let curiosity pull her in rather than pushing your entire life story immediately. Using social proof and subtle prestige cues can also act as micro triggers. It's not about bragging, it's about letting your character, achievements, or values show through naturally. References to things you care about, descriptions of commitments, or small reviews of dedication, volunteering, hobbies, skill building, discipline, or contribute. We talk about how to incorporate these cues in everyday life and conversation without seeming self-important. Emotional timing is crucial: when to use which trigger, when to pull back, when to lean in, rushing emotional topics, or giving away all micro triggers at once can feel overwhelming or insincere. We'll show you how to read mood, pace your sharing, interpret feedback, verbal or non-verbal, and adapt in real time so that interaction builds gradually and feels mutual. Micro triggers also involve sensory experiences, touch, appropriate, respectful, contextual, scent, hygiene, subtle fragrance, visual appearance, ways you hold and move your body in a special context, the environment you're in, lighting, ambience also contributes. We'll give you actionable advice on how to optimize your sensory presence in social situations so that you naturally draw attention in a positive way. Confidence is itself a micro trigger. Posture, a short voice, decisiveness, but also the mindset that leads to those behaviors. Often people try to fake confidence and it comes off as hollow. In this video, you'll learn how to build genuine confidence from small wins, how to speak your truth even under uncertainty, how to carry yourself in a way that feels authentic, and how that authenticity is itself deeply attractive. Respect and boundaries. Ironically, showing respect for her mind, her pace, her feelings, and demonstrating firm but kind boundaries about your own self-respect are major micro triggers. They signal maturity, stability, emotional health. Will cover how to show respect verbally and non-verbally, how to set gentle yet firm boundaries, and how to communicate them when needed, all without sounding harsh or rigid. Active positivity and uplift. It's not about being superficially upbeat, but choosing to highlight what's working, what's hopeful, what's inspiring in a conversation, encouraging her aspirations, noticing small wins, checking in on moods. All these small gestures trigger warmth, connection, and admiration. We show you practical ways to bring positivity into your interactions in meaningful and natural ways. Listening for inner emotions beyond words. Noticing tone, micro expressions, mood shifts, body tension. When you respond well to things she didn't say explicitly, you show highlighted emotional intelligence, something many people subconsciously value in interaction. We train you to be more attuned. Observing cues, asking thoughtful questions, reflecting what you see, being gentle in interpretation rather than assuming. Surprise and novelty as triggers. Introducing small unexpected moments, a thoughtful question, a genuinely personal compliment, an anecdote she didn't anticipate can kickstart attraction by breaking monotony. But surprise should be appropriate and proportionate, not shocking. You'll learn what kinds of surprises are charming, which ones ring false, and how to introduce novelty safely and effectively. Consistency over time. Attraction isn't built in a single interaction, but through repeated positive experiences. These micro triggers are cumulative, being reliable in tone, behavior, follow through, respect, presence all build trust and attraction. In this video, you'll get advice on how to embed his micro triggers into your daily social routines so your interactions build a momentum and not just a one-off impressions. Authenticity, perhaps the most important micro trigger of all. All the triggers in the world are useless if you don't believe in them yourself or if you force them unnaturally. We'll discuss how to align what you say and how you act with your deeper values, how to avoid performance mode, how vulnerability, integrity, and consistency work together, and how authenticity amplifies all your efforts. Become part of our family by hitting the subscribe button. Context sensitivity using micro triggers depends heavily on situation. Friend versus romantic interest, casual group versus intimate one-on-one, daytime versus evening, social dynamics, cultural background. What works in one setting might backfire in another. We'll guide you through how to read context, adapt your approach to cultural and situational norms, and avoid missteps by being observant and responsive rather than rigid and formulaic. Feedback and self-reflection are essential as you practice these micro triggers. You'll want to observe responses, notice what works and what doesn't, and adjust, asking for honest feedback, reflecting after social interactions, journaling successes and failures all help you refine your style. This video will provide you with exercises and suggestions for tracking your growth over time so you improve steadily without a dependence on scripts. Ethical attraction using triggers should never be about manipulation or taking advantage. It should be about creating genuine connection, respect, mutual desire. We'll explore the ethical dimension. What can set mutual comfort honestly look like? How to ensure that what you're doing feels good for both people, and how integrity keeps your confidence and reputation strong. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped not only with knowledge of dozens of micro triggers, but also with a clear step-by-step plan for integrating them into your daily life. From casual conversation on the street to social gatherings to dates, you'll know what to say, when to say it, how to move, how to posture, how to listen, how to respond. Unliking a female attraction isn't about gimmicks, it's about becoming a more confident, emotionally aware, authentic person, and when you align those qualities with micro triggers used wisely, attraction becomes a natural outcome, not a task. Now you know the micro triggers that unlike female attraction. But here's the real power, knowing when and how to use them in real life. If you want examples, breakdowns, and real-world scenarios, check out the next video right here. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Thank you for watching until the end. See you!